Several members of the Cruelty and Rescue Department have decided to sleep outside in wooden dog houses in hopes that we'll raise public awareness about dogs outside in the city that don't have adequate shelter. You know, at the Michigan Humane Society, we want to see pets inside. We want to see them part of the family. That's where they belong. But we realize that there are dogs that live outside in the winter and are never going to come in the house. So those dogs need to be comfortable. State law requires that these dogs have a dog house or an insulated area with bedding when the temperatures drop below 32 degrees. They should also have their structures up off the ground, turned so that the wind doesn't blow into the door, have flaps over the doors. People really need to take a look at their pets and how they're being housed outside. It's dangerous for animals. You know, what we really want to do is we want to raise awareness. We have found a lot of dogs outside this year that didn't make it through the winter. They froze. Or they were hypothermic, or they were just outside suffering in the cold. If you have to keep your dog outside for whatever reason, there are things that you could look for to show that your dog can be suffering from hypothermia. You know, dogs will start to lift up their paws, lift up their legs, switch between leg and leg. They'll shake. If you see your dog out there shaking and shivering like that, that dog is getting ready to be in a serious situation. It's dangerous. If they're curling up and not moving, you know, if they're curling up and they don't want to get up and it's normally an active dog, you know, that's a sign that your dog may be getting into trouble. Watch for those signs. It's dangerous. The dog houses that we're going to sleep in, they're simple wooden boxes. They're plywood boxes with a roof and 4 sides and a door, and we're going to fill them with straw.
I'm sleeping outside in the doghouse because I would like to know how the dogs feel out there in the middle of the night when the temperatures drop really low, you know, if it's actually comfortable and warm enough.
I want to sleep in the doghouse overnight for a few different reasons. I'm curious to see how cold it actually gets outside overnight. There is a law that says dogs need shelter, but there's not a law saying that dogs have to come inside your house at night during the day or when it's freezing cold. So we do find dogs that are frozen in their dog houses, and it's heartbreaking, and it's probably the hardest part of my job. A lot of the dogs that we find frozen are underweight and they are in poorly built dog houses, but there are a lot of dogs that we find that are in very good body condition, that have straw, that have flaps, and they just don't make it because it's too cold for them to be outside.
Sleeping in a doghouse overnight, I'm kind of interested in seeing how a dog lives for a night that's outside.
Well, I think I'm going to make it through the night. I think it will be freezing, but I hope I'm proven wrong.
I'm a little nervous about staying in the doghouse all night. I hate the cold myself, so I'm worried that I'm going to get freezing and be unhappy, but hopefully I'm hoping to make it through the night. I'm hoping to kind of get a good experience and learn what these dogs have to go through.
Expectations are to be kind of cold and uncomfortable, but I think I'll probably still get a good night's sleep.
I've never slept in a doghouse with straw before, so I think it's going to be a new experience for all of us and give us a good perspective, actually. You know, we're all different, and I'm sure we're all going to fare differently outside in our dog houses. But we have to remember, that's how dogs are. Dogs are individuals, so, you know, what may be adequate for one dog may not be adequate shelter for the next dog. This is something that's really important to our department. This last month, all we've done is go on calls for no shelter. And we have found dogs that, you know, they've died, they've frozen. Or we've gotten there and they're crying because they're suffering in the cold, or they're shaking, or they're shivering, or, you know, they were so hypothermic we didn't know if they'd make it back to the shelter. And to not try to do something to change that just doesn't seem right. I mean, we're seeing this. We have to take some kind of action and try to get that message out there about the importance of this. And hopefully, you know, if this saves one dog's life, if it gets one dog in the house when we have one of these cold nights, then it's worth it.